Today's podcast is brought to you by Inverted Gear. Go to invertedgear.com for all your jiu-jitsu gear needs. Type in the coupon code showtheART15 and save some good money. Our next sponsor is Chimera Coffee. Go to chimeracoffee.com, Chimera Coffee with a K. Purchase some of their coffee. They infuse their coffee with nootropics. Type in the coupon code showtheART and you will save, I think 15%, something. Plug in showtheART coupon code and save some money.
What is going on, people? You're listening to the Show the Art podcast. This is the fight. What do we call this, Abe?
The Fight Art Breakdown.
The Fight Art Breakdown. I'm your co-host, Ames, along with my main man, Abe.
Yes, sir.
Abe, how we feeling, man?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah?
It was a good weekend.
It was a very good weekend.
It was an exciting weekend, man.
Oh, man.
What did you do over the weekend? You're pretty busy.
I'm busy enough. Saturday, I had a tournament that I did.
No big deal.
I didn't compete, but
what did you do?
I helped film it. I helped commentate on some super fights, jiu-jitsu
homie.
super fights. You know, the kid is flexing.
You're like a man of many talents.
Nah, man.
You're a renaissance.
I'm just working hard,
That's true.
busting my bones.
I like that. You tired? You caffeinated?
I finally got some good sleep last night.
Did
but
you?
I'm good, yeah.
Okay. What kind of coffee you drinking over there, buddy?
Now that you asked, I'm drinking Chimera coffee.
Ooh.
What is Chimera coffee, you ask?
Uh-huh.
It's coffee infused with nootropics.
If you don't know what nootropics are,
Google it.
Google that shit. You jabroni. But yo, let's get right into it. It was a good fight card. We're gonna be talking about the UFC. What is it? 203.
203.
203 that just passed on Saturday. I liked it. It was an entertaining card.
Very entertaining.
To say the least. What were your thoughts on it overall?
Good call on that. That's a very entertaining
Damn right it
card.
is.
There was a lot of good fights.
Mhm.
A lot of drama behind some of the fights before and
A
after.
little more exciting than
Yeah.
the fight itself.
There was moments where we expected
Mm-hmm.
what was going to happen, but then there was also moments where you're like, whoa, can't believe that just happened.
Yeah.
So whenever you have a blend of different emotions going into one card or coming out of one card,
Yeah.
you know it was a good one.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
What are your thoughts?
I liked it a lot. Same exact sentiment you're putting out there. Up and down, like entertaining and exciting, especially for the main event. The main event had me like standing up the whole damn
Stipe
time.
Miocic versus, or like Fabricio Werdum like to call him,
Yeah.
Stipe Miocic. Every time he says his name, it's like, what? Stipe
bitches.
It's always
Y'all bitches. Yeah, but let's get off on the first fight on the main card. Is that
Okay.
cool with you?
You get off.
Yeah, I'll get off on this one first. Calderwood. How do you pronounce Andrade?
Andrade.
What were your
like that.
thoughts? Of course, Andrade got the submission via guillotine. I believe in the first round.
It was a very good fight.
It was
so
a good fight, man.
Andrade.
It was fast, but I
Yeah.
liked it a lot.
Joanne Calderwood, Joanne, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call her, Calderwood. She has really good stand up. She's a Scottish fighter. She
Yeah,
bangs. You know,
man.
she moves forward. She has good boxing.
Was she a kickboxer or Muay Thai?
I think all these people do it.
Either
a
way,
little
she
bit
has
of
smooth
everything.
ass moves.
Yeah,
So
she has good hands.
Yeah.
So she was trying to move around, but eventually you could tell Andrade was like, "All right, I know her weakness. Let me try to take her down." And once she did,
It was a
it
wrap.
was just
It was a wrap.
that was a beautiful example of like smothering jiu-jitsu. We always see smothering wrestling,
Yeah.
but we need to see smothering jiu-jitsu. The difference between wrestling and jiu-jitsu in MMA is a lot of times the jiu-jitsu guys, when they're on top, they advance positions so nicely and they get to like the dominant positions.
Yeah.
And they don't settle for like the closed guard or like being in half guard.
Mhm.
They try to pass, they get to the mount, they get to the back, and they finish.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of times wrestlers, they settle being in the closed guard and pounding away, being in half guard and
Yeah.
pounding away,
Yeah.
which gets a little boring.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it, but
I have something wrong with it because it doesn't look like you're trying
let
to.
them know.
It just looks like you're not trying to end the fight.
yeah,
Let's get to the finish. Let's get to the end. You know, jiu-jitsu, it allows people to do that when you have that mindset. So you could be a wrestler with a jiu-jitsu mindset.
Calderwood looked. You could tell Calderwood was still trying to attack on the bottom too. But there's one point where she was in, I think, half guard or deep half, where she could have gone for like a takedown. If she just flipped her hips, she could have went for like
came up for for takedown. Yeah,
exactly.
For a sweep,
But she didn't go for it. So I was like, oh man, it's a wrap because Andrade was
Well, the issue there, yeah.
Man. That's what I was texting him like, yo, she is nonstop.
That's the word of the day, relentless.
Yeah, man. No, it is.
You know, Andrade, she did that very well. She just smothered her, tried to pass, pounded on her, passed. She got to a lot of dominant positions and landed a lot of shots. Yeah. And she just didn't give Calderwood any breathing room. That's what you have to do on the ground. Whether you're making them defend the punches and elbows, or you're making them defend the pass, or you're making them trying to escape, the back or the mount. Yeah. A lot of people in MMA, they don't really, that fire alarm doesn't go off when they're in side control as much as they do when somebody has their back or they're mounted. Yeah. You know, she just made her defend with a little bit of everything, which, eventually led to the victory.
And when she finally gave Calderwood some air, she tapped her ass out, man. Yeah. She was like smothering her. It's like she was drowning her, and then she let go. Let Calderwood get some air in, and once she did, she snagged that neck and then dropped. She DDT'd her ass. Yo, can we be professional and turn off the damn phone? Guys, I'm so sorry about that. Now you know who's the professional around
That's
this
Ames'
way.
cell phone.
So, yeah, man. Any other thoughts with this? Who's next for these two? Or for let's go for Jessica, because she's the one that's coming off the victory.
You know,
that thing is stacked.
You know, it's hard because her division is so stacked, like you said. Like I said, it's hard, man, because you don't know how the UFC is putting together these matchups. Especially nowadays when the more entertaining fight is going to be pushed over the who's more worth it fight. And in the strawweight division, you got killers, man. Yeah. You got Joanne, the champion. You have Rose Namajunas. You have Tisha Torres. I mean, you even have
Paige.
Paige, that was a beautiful performance. Yeah. She didn't look good before that when she fought Rose, but she knocked out her last opponent. And it's a pretty stacked division. I think Andrade can fight anybody at this point. She has the talent to do so. So let's get her up there. Let's move her up in the ranks. Yeah. And let's allow her to fight.
Places that Claudia, Carlos Barraza.
Exactly. Oof. She could fight Claudia. That would be a good fight.
That'd be a good fight.
She could fight Esparza. That would be a good fight.
Her and Claudia would be a fun fight, man. That would be
two Brazilians, two
like pit bulls going at it, man. That would be a great fight. That would be my vote. Just because
All right, let's do it.
Well, that's settled. Guys, UFC. I was going to say Joe Silva if you're listening to this, but he's out of there.
He's got a couple more months.
Yeah. Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to the next fight on that card.
Jimmy Rivera versus Uriah Faber.
Mr. New Jersey. Ooh. I was going for Jimmy Rivera just because he's from New Jersey.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't really rooting for anybody this fight. I just was trying to watch and analyze and enjoy. And, man, Jimmy Rivera, holy crap. Yeah. Compact. Explosive, and really confident. That's what I noticed. That was a big deal with me. Yeah, his confidence against not a legend yet, at least, but a veteran in the game. Yeah, Uriah Faber.
For a while.
What'd you think of the fight?
I liked it. Jimmy's just very explosive, man. Not even with just his punches, the way he would stuff Uriah and just shrug him right off, and he was ready. So that was my main things on it. It's just It seemed like no one really wanted to pull the trigger from my eyes. Okay. What were you thinking?
I felt like...
Because they're both standing right in front of each other.
Yeah. I felt like Uriah didn't have much confidence, especially after the first couple of exchanges. Okay. And that forced him to hesitate a lot. So...
He was gun-shy.
He was gun-shy. That's why it looked like he was gun-shy, like you were trying to say. But... Whereas Jimmy Rivera, it looked like he was just following with the game plan.
That's what it is.
And it seemed like his game plan was, I'm not going to move forward and pressure him too much. I'm going to let him come in, and I'm just going to counter him with combinations each time, not single strikes. Yeah. And he did that beautifully. Every time Uriah committed to coming in with a strike, he threw like a couple in a row, like a nice combination. Yeah. And he's got power in his hands. And that's kind of where the fight went. Like I said, Uriah didn't look like he had much confidence. Yeah. You know, he didn't pull the trigger. One thing I noticed is it was like a lack of setups from Uriah. Yeah. It seemed like Uriah's just fighting. It's hard to explain to people that don't train, but if you can either be a one-shot guy or you could be like you start off being a one-shot guy. Yeah. Where you're training and you haven't found little things that you're good at.
You haven't expanded.
Yeah, you haven't found little strategies. And it looked like Uriah was just trying to land the jab, land the cross. It didn't look like he had a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what your game is built up upon, a bag of tricks, a bunch of little combinations, a bunch of little strategies to open the opponent up and land things.
Was he hurt? Because Joe Rogan was talking about how after I think during even the first round, he wasn't throwing the right.
Yeah.
He's fast to notice these things, but.
Yeah, I don't know about the right hand, but definitely Jimmy Rivera tore that leg apart.
Yeah,
so that was a major issue with Uriah.
You could tell he was. Yeah, you couldn't hide that. You couldn't put on a little acting show because he would switch, right? He would switch his positions and then get back into it.
And that's another thing about Uriah. It's like he lost the leg kicks a couple times in his career. Yeah.
I was like, not again.
He needs to. When he talks about not evolving.
Yeah.
And then he loses the same way again. It's like, well, maybe you aren't.
Yeah.
And you need to do a self-inventory, something you always talk about. Change your style. Maybe just change the game plan. For now on, just go for takedowns.
Yeah,
just start out wrestling people.
I wonder what his game plan was because I think he only went for four takedowns. I think he got stuffed every single time.
But they were all, none of them were like confident takedowns.
Yeah, they were.
Now, here's the thing about Uriah as well. I feel like he's getting older, and he was a fighter. And I want to compare him to Floyd Mayweather. No, not Floyd Mayweather. Roy Jones Jr.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because
tell me why.
What was Roy's biggest advantage over people?
His defense.
Okay.
His quickness.
His quickness.
Yeah.
His athleticism.
Yeah.
And Uriah was tearing people up because of his athleticism, his quickness early in his career. But now he's getting older. What's the first to go? The athleticism, the quickness. So I feel like he got far in his career due to a combination of his quickness, his quick technique. You know,
I gotcha.
But now that's dwindling.
Yeah,
he doesn't have much setups. You know, he didn't take the route of a real technical striker. He went the route of a real quick, beat you to the punch.
Yeah.
So
that's just like in any sport. Like let's put, for example, basketball. Kobe Bryant. When he first started, explosive, athletic, so on and so forth. Just like Michael Jordan. We gave say Michael Jordan. But after a while, as your athleticism leaves you, you got to have a different kind of game. You have to evolve.
You have to change your strategy, right?
What's Uriah's fadeaway? What's his post up now?
Good point.
You know
what
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn right. It's
and he and exactly, he hasn't changed it up. It's like you got to change your strategy, man.
Yeah.
You have to, because your body can't do what your mind wants you to do anymore. Just due to older age, slowing down.
That's
miles.
True. Yeah. So what's next for Jimmy Rivera? And I hope his injury isn't too bad, man, because I felt bad.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, I read something scratched at the white of his retina and stuff.
Cornea.
Whatever.
Orbital.
But I hope because that'd be a shame, man, if we lost Jimmy Rivera, man, because
New Jersey's finest right now.
Exactly,
NJ's
man.
finest.
I'm rooting for you, brother, if you're listening to this.
It's nice to have someone from your home state.
Yeah.
We have a couple of guys.
We do.
Obviously, Frankie is like the number one guy right now from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to have a group of people
from your
that
area.
we can root for.
Exactly, man.
When all else fails, it's like, hey, at least we can say that guy's from New Jersey. I'm picking him.
Yeah.
He just beat Uriah Faber.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, he can fight anybody, or they can still build him up. I'm all for building fighters up.
Yeah.
Don't just give them the hardest matches. Here's a big issue, and that's probably the next fight we're going to talk about.
Okay.
CM Punk versus Mickey Gall. The issue with Mickey Gall is great, but he only has 3 pro MMA fights. And he's in the biggest show. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was dope. I was happy they let that happen.
That was pretty.
I
never cared for that song, but when he
Yeah.
came out to it, sounds much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot that
I
beat
can't even
was
try to make it hard. I try to go with the beat and try to make it sound a little tough, but there's no way. But it's just dope.
Yeah.
It's just fitting for his it's so fitting for his name.
And that beat is pretty. It gets you going.
Yeah,
I
it got me
forgot all
going.
of
I was
it,
thinking, I was bobbing my head to it. Even my wife was bobbing her head to it, and then she fell asleep.
Yeah. But my point about Mickey was he just had his 3rd pro fight.
Yeah.
And he just like was number 3 on a big card.
Yeah.
And obviously you could throw him on the undercard now. But who do you give him next? Because UFC's filled with guys that are at least 10 fights deep, not 3 fights deep. So now Mickey Gall can only go up, and hopefully there's a lot of contenders relatively
You know
unknown
who he
contenders.
wants. You know who homeboy wants.
Oh, I love that matchup.
Me too, man.
Versus Sage
I
Northcutt.
love because
It makes perfect sense.
even though Mickey Gall called him out and like I don't like what he kind of reminds me of Sage, just like a pretty boy. He looks like a pretty boy type of guy. Mickey.
Who, Mickey?
Yeah.
No.
The way he was looking at the camera.
You know what? He reminds.
Well, definitely not. If you compare him and Sage, then definitely.
Oh no,
not.
Sage is. He's on another level as far as Abercrombie and Fitch is concerned.
No, seriously, yeah. Not like I'm hating.
No.
Bastard. I hate it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
No, but what I get from Mickey Gall is he's playing the role.
Yeah, he's smart, man.
He's playing the. Hey, I'm a be the New Jersey guy.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks New Jersey people from New Jersey just talk shit or curse a lot and are loud. Well, you know what? I'm gonna be that guy.
I'm gonna be that guy. He was that guy.
And
too.
I don't think he normally is that guy. I think he had to turn up the volume on that personality to make him seem like that. I think that's like a elevated version of who he really is.
I absolutely
He seems
agree.
like a very nice kid.
Yeah.
But he seems like a fun kid to be around.
Yeah.
But when he's on the mic, he's like, "Listen, I gotta embrace this
Yeah.
this position right now." And
He said it
did a
on
good
Embedded.
job.
He said it on Embedded. He was like, I gotta go for that home run hit, and he got CM Punk. He called out CM Punk, and now Sage was like, who can I get? Who could I possibly get?
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was perfect, man. Because Sage, it got me fired
Yeah.
up. It got me.
If Mickey
What did he say about his hair? I want to knock the
Spiky,
spikes
yeah.
out of your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Dude,
good job. I think
Mickey
he
Gall, he there's no better matchup for him right now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, let's go back to the fight. We didn't even talk about the fight. Well,
The beatdown.
the beatdown.
That bully beatdown.
You know, I still think it's rigged. Wrestling is still real to me. I'll always root for you, CM Punk. You'll always be my boy.
R.I.P.
I mean-
WWE.
You know, in wrestling, they say they put someone over, like they let them beat
Oh, yeah?
you,
Yeah.
so they could,
Raise
make a
your-
name out of
yeah.
themselves. I think that's what CM Punk did, man.
Huh.
He put Mickey Gall over.
Yeah, but if you don't have a name to begin with, how can you put?
Well,
I'm confused.
Mickey's gonna get one against Sage. He made that money, so
True,
hey, good
true.
for you, CM Punk.
Yeah.
That was a classy move, letting him whoop on you like that.
Always on the side. You can count on Ames to always be on the side of WWE.
Yeah, because I always
That's-
keep it real. You know what I mean? Keep it
Because
100.
UFC is fake.
If anyone from UFC is listening, then no. But if no one's not, then yeah, it's
Then yeah,
fake as
it's
shit. It's just rigged. No, but man, he got an
Yeah.
ass open, man.
And
What are
another
your-
thing I like about Mickey Gall is he
Mhm.
explained it perfectly.
Yeah.
You couldn't explain it any better. He's like, he's a 2-year guy.
Yeah.
You're right. He's been training MMA with arguably one of the top 10 teams in the country,
Sure.
Rufus Sports, for almost 2 years. He's a 2-year guy.
Yeah,
He's like
man.
me. I'm not a 2-year guy.
He's not.
And I've beaten 10-year guys.
Like
Like
he's been doing this for a while, man.
Mickey Gall, he hasn't been fighting on the fighting circuit, like MMA circuit,
Mhm.
for not too many years.
Yeah.
But he's been in the jiu-jitsu circuit. He's been competing.
He's a brown belt, man.
He's been training for a long time. I can imagine 10 years or
Yeah.
more. So he explained it perfectly.
Yo,
I'm
that-
fighting an amateur,
Yeah.
and I'm not an amateur at this point. So.
Yeah, the way the fight went down, it was pretty much him. Everything he was feeling, he put on that. He put that whooping. He put on CM Punk was basically like, you give me this guy,
Yeah.
this. It's just like if a white belt was disrespectful at any academy to someone else, and the brown belt says, okay, I'm gonna humble him a little
Yeah,
bit.
let me take
That's
this guy.
exactly what Mickey Gall did.
Perfect
He
explanation, yeah.
humbled the
Yeah.
out of CM.
Like, hey,
Punk.
listen, man.
Yeah.
You're still a white belt.
Yeah, you're.
I've
a
been doing
white
this
belt.
for longer
You
than
got
you.
one strike.
You ain't got the answers, CM Punk.
Nah, you
ain't got
don't.
the answers.
No.
I've been doing this longer than you.
Go ahead. You kind of sound like an MC, like you're about to go into
Oh, really?
a battle.
No, that's the Kanye West rant. Remember on the Sway show?
Ah.
Remember when he was talking to Sway? You ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers.
I don't really listen to Kanye after his
No,
first
you
two
gotta-
albums.
If anybody hasn't heard that rant yet,
Yeah.
listen to Kanye West on, I guess, Sway in the Morning,
Okay.
and he just flips out on.
Oh, that's
on-
right. Because you are the biggest Kim Kardashian fan, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why you like Kanye West,
Oh yeah,
correct?
you connected that
Without a
very
doubt.
well.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
no, forget
But
that.
honestly, there's not much to talk about. It is what it
man.
is.
Yeah.
A brown belt beat up a white belt,
Mhm.
and
Nope.
a professional beat up an amateur,
Yeah.
not a semi-pro.
No, that really is, man. You could see just on the highlights. It's bad when the highlights still look bad. Like all the CM Punk, like his hands, like, you know what I mean. Just everyone. It was rough, man.
And it looked like
Stiff,
Mickey.
Yeah.
It looked like Mickey. Honestly, it looked like Mickey held back a little. Like
Uh,
he could have finished it sooner, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
He could have definitely finished it sooner with strikes, there's a couple of barrages where he stopped and was like, let me keep going.
Yeah.
There's a couple times where he was reaching for a rear naked choke, and he was
Yeah.
like, let me pull back and beat him up a little longer.
Just
make a
let it simmer, let him marinate a little.
I feel like if Mickey really wanted to end it, he could have ended it within the first 30 seconds.
That's true.
Right after he took him down, he could have finished the fight within 30 seconds just by submission.
You get once he took him to the ground, CM Punk had a face like, oh, I'm in trouble. Yeah. And that's the white belt face when you get, you know what I mean? When you start drowning, because I've been there plenty of times. Sure, I'm still there. Dude. You know, once that brown belt gets a hold of you, and you're looking around like, man, no one's here to no one's gonna help me.
Yeah. At least in the gym, you could tap out and be like, listen, I gotta go use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Mickey, I mean, CM, he's packed crowd.
Yeah.
30,000 people, however many people it was.
But props to him, man,
or
for going in there. But you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
The best thing about him was that speech that he gave out. I commend him for that, because you know, not a lot of people can go into the cage like that, or just do the things that like.
All right, moving on to the next fight. What is the next fight?
We got Brown versus Werdum.
Travis Brown versus Werdum. Let's talk about it quickly. Werdum whooped on him the first round.
Yeah.
Then you could tell Werdum was a little tired in the second, and then the third, he played. To me, it looked like Werdum was uninspired at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Brown was not committing to anything. Obviously, Travis Brown broke his finger.
What was the game plan though? It just seemed like neither one were really going for like anything.
I don't know.
It reminded me of the Uriah Jimmy Rivera fight, because they whatever. But it just, this one was like kind of unexciting. I wasn't really It looked uninspired.
I feel like Travis Brown is missing something that he had before. I don't know if it's because
Winklejohn.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because he hasn't been winning. You know, he's had a couple losses recently where that takes something. You know, that takes something away from you mentally, confidence-wise. Mm-hmm. Or if it's a change in camp, maybe just this new camp is not working for him. You know, I don't want to call anybody out that's messed up.
Nah.
But, you know, I don't know what it is, but he doesn't seem like the Travis Brown of 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was, like, coming up. Yeah. Like, scary mother effer. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. What I saw from the fight was just a lack of confidence in himself.
Yeah.
And, but then again, he did break his finger at the end of the first. Yeah. You know, that might have debilitated him a little bit.
Mentally, not also. Yeah. Also,
right. This fight kind of reminded me of John Jones versus OSP, where John Jones is like trying, and then you could tell OSP is like not trying that hard, or is like very hesitant and scared.
It seemed like one of those just going through the motion. That's why when I was watching, I was like, this is really boring. Now, I'm getting bored.
The things that Werdum landed, some of them were magic.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. He got that one clean right. I believe that laid him on the mat.
And he came out with that flying side kick that cocked Travis Brown's head back.
You know what makes me mad? I looked at my phone real quick, and I hear the crowd going crazy. Like, what the hell did I just miss? And they showed the replay. I'm like, of course I miss freaking Werdum. Karate kidding the hell out of Brown's face.
Flying sidekick style.
Man.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Cocked his head back real fast.
Now, Werdum, there's no doubt that he can hang with anybody. Yeah. There's no doubt that his striking is high level. Yeah. You know, it's not there. The highest level, but it's there. It's there. I mean, the way he whooped on Travis Brown the last fight, this fight, he beat him striking wise in the first round. I mean, he really did. I mean, the whole fight he did, but the first round was a beautiful display. Yeah. And the way, you know, he's just putting things together. The only issue is, did he earn the right to fight for the title? This was his opportunity to say, I can impress you more than Travis Brown's last fight, which was against Kane. And both guys are in the running. Kane beat and finished Travis Brown.
Yeah, let's not even play around. It's Kane, man.
It's Kane.
I love Fabricio, but he won, but it's not the way Kane Velasquez.
He pulled off on the gas, and he might pay the price for it. But but here's something that it's like a fork in the road.
Give me that.
Stipe said he wants to take some rest, some time off. That might be 5 or 6 months. What do you do in the meantime? You set up a #1 contender match, or rematch might I add, of
now that's
Werdum
that's sexy.
versus Kane, the two guys that we're talking about as #1 contenders. You set them up, boom.
I dig that.
And Werdum, if he really wants it, he could probably fight pretty soon. He didn't look
Nice.
like he took much damage.
No, I get you. I get
You know,
that,
so-
that sounds good to me. That sounds good to me.
It's the only issue is Stipe. If they talk to Stipe about it and Stipe looks at the landscape and is like, listen, all right, I want 5 or 6 months off. You set up the Kane Werdum fight for 3 months from now. But then let's say somebody, whoever wins, gets hurt.
Yeah.
Now I have to wait another 6 months for that guy. That's
That's gonna
close
be
to a
tough.
year. I
Yeah.
might not want to do that. Or you just take the chance and say, hey, I want that fight 3 months after or 4 months. I don't want to fight any time longer than 6 or 7 months from now.
I roll the dice on that.
And if one of those guys is hurt, I want somebody else.
Yeah.
You give me somebody else. If Kane wins and he gets hurt, I want somebody else. I want to fight, next April, no
Next
matter
in line,
what.
Yeah.
So I think you take the chance. I think if Stipe wants his rest,
Yeah.
the champ earned it.
Speaking of Stipe, let's talk about that fight.
Stipe Miocic.
Yo, that fight was bananas.
Man,
That
Stipe
fight
versus
was
Overeem
crazy.
lived up to
Yo.
the hype.
Man, I wish it went a few more rounds, but it ended just right, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know who was gonna win.
That was so tough. How many
Yeah.
times that we were just like, who's going to win? Who's going to win?
Yeah,
who's going to
yeah,
win?
At the end, when me and Abe were texting, I went for Stipe. He went for Overeem just because he's been a fan.
Yeah, no.
For Overeem.
Literally, right before the fight started, I'm like, I have to pick somebody. Just
Yeah.
pick somebody.
Pick someone, you
and I can't.
jabroni.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Overeem for a while.
Mhm.
Not a diehard fan, but I've been a fan of his for a while. And I didn't want this little momentum to kind of shift my mindset of Stipe. Even though
I
I know
got you.
Stipe has the tools to win.
I'm such
But
a
I'm
Stipe
like,
fan
let me
right
just-
now, man.
Let me just pick somebody. Let me give it to the guy with more experience. And that was Overeem.
And his walkout,
To that Pride music.
ooh,
Man.
that was dope.
That was the moment,
Yeah. That almost made me switch sides and go for Overeem. Just when I heard that the music play, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is good. Just like going back to the CM Punk, his
Yeah.
entrance was dope because that
CM
was
Punk?
his
Okay.
wrestling.
That song was pretty
entrance.
corny.
Oh, was it now?
Yeah, I never even heard of it, and
Oh, you didn't?
wasn't into it. But anyway, moving back to Stipe, the champ. So the fight starts, and both guys rock each other.
Oof.
Oh man, that
Man.
was close. So it started with Overeem moving around,
Overeem took a page
dude.
out of Stipe's
Dude.
book.
He made him trail him, and then turn around.
He planted Wakank.
And Stipe
Yo,
went down.
he did. I was so surprised when
Yeah.
Overeem would run and Stipe would chase. I'm like, dude, you just did this.
I wasn't surprised.
You weren't?
Because it looks like Overeem's game plan lately is to really make the distance to where he wants it to be. He wasn't running away. He was trying to reset to. But since Stipe was actually running, he had to actually
Yeah.
run. Because that's the difference between champions and non-champions. Championship caliber, you have to keep the fight where you want it.
Yeah.
And if you want it 3 feet away, you have to. It
Get
has
that
to be on your
space.
team.
You gotta get that space.
That's kind of what Conor was doing against Nate.
you
got to keep it at your range.
let me know what you think. I thought he was doing that because he was gonna use that crowd and Stipe's like energy against him. Like you hear the crowd roaring
Yeah,
your
let me
name,
get
man.
him.
Because Ohio was in it, man. Props to Ohio. Those fans were in it since the prelims with that
They were
and
running. Yeah.
who's that match she had? Whatever.
Yeah,
That female fight. I forgot what it is. They were in it since that fight.
Bet you, right?
Yeah. And then at the end, man, that Ohio crowd was crazy.
Yeah, and it's not a big 50,000 stadium.
No, homie, that was a thunderous. Yeah,
Yeah.
and so when he would run, I'm like, oh, maybe he's using that against Stipe
Yeah.
because he would chase. Because maybe Stipe just wanted to put on a show for his crowd. He's a champion, first
Sure.
champion, like Ohio, before the Cavaliers and whatnot.
That's what happened to Fabricio.
Exactly.
Stipe.
That's because that's exactly what I was saying. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe he's
Wow.
using that excitement, right? Just
Yeah.
yeah. So
No, that's a great analysis. It could be a combination of both.
Yeah.
Why not?
absolutely.
Why
man.
not? That's just Overeem's game plan. I got to keep distance. And why not also, it might work out in my benefit if I run a little because he's going to run after me and then I could crack him.
And he cracked the shit out of him, man.
But to Stipe's credit,
Uh-huh.
he fell, but he caught
Yes,
himself.
Yes, yeah.
And people don't just catch themselves.
No.
So he was a little rocked.
Yeah.
But
He
in
was
my
still aware.
opinion, Overeem shouldn't have gone for that guillotine.
Oh,
I know
no.
he's a master at guillotines.
Okay.
But he shouldn't have.
Why not?
Because you just rock the guy. You push his head down. You go towards his back,
and
and you start pounding him. You just rocked him. Unless the situation calls for it. He had time to like, sprawl on his head, spin towards the back, and just throw punches from the side.
True.
You had that opportunity, and you took the guillotine.
Think about that, yeah.
And not to mention, at least if you're going to get the guillotine, you commit to it.
Yeah.
How do you commit to a guillotine? What's the 100% full commitment to guillotine? You throw him in close guard.
Yeah.
Or at least one of the legs on top. And he didn't even do that. He was on that Tim Tebow one knee, lifting that elbow, and that's where Stipe was able to escape. Overeem, that was his mistake. But also Stipe had good submission defense. He was actually doing a very good job. But after that, I didn't.
It was back and forth.
I didn't realize it, but Stipe did rock Overeem.
Yeah.
During the fight, I was like, nah, because they were saying Overeem's hurt. I was like, nah, that just looks like his game plan. But when I saw the highlights, I was like, no, this guy was hurt.
Back. Yeah, he looked hurt, man.
And then he threw that half-ass John Jones oblique kick, and he paid the price.
Man. And as they're saying it, when Stipe took him down, it was a single leg or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He took him down.
He just tried to catch the leg and went.
Yeah, he went. Rogan is like, oh, he's in trouble. In my head, I'm like, no, I think Overeem's gonna be okay. The moment right after I said that sentence in my head, it was a wrap.
Yeah,
I mean, saw Overeem just go night.
Dude,
no.
Stipe pulled a LeBron James. He was dribbling that head like a basketball on the canvas.
He put home in his sleep, man.
Yeah, poor Overeem, man.
Yeah, man. I felt bad.
Well, the way Overeem was reacting in the close guard, you could tell he was a little hurt.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing all the right things to stop Stipe from hurting him. Plus, Stipe's powerful.
Now we see it.
And then the way the
heavyweights, man, you could go. Yeah, this fight could have went either way, man.
That's the issue with heavyweight fights.
When I saw Overeem plant and then rock Stipe, I was like, and then he caught the guillotine. I'm like, oh, this is a wrap, man. This is a wrap.
Yeah.
And then Stipe flips it over.
Resilience.
How good for him, man.
Resilience.
Yeah.
Man.
Props to him.
Yeah.
And I love Stipe, not just because of this fight. It's just following him on Embedded. I just like his personality.
Yeah.
He's like my kind of guy.
He's like a regular dude.
Simple dude, just like in the suit. He was like, oh, do you want to add anything for his
like,
pocket square? He goes, nah, man, I don't care. I'm a simple-ass guy. And you could tell he came out to like some hood hop ass music or whatever. He's my kind of guy,
And then when
man.
he won, the crowd, he just embraced the crowd. They embraced him. It was perfect moment.
Yeah.
He's a people's champ.
Yeah. And what did we talk about before, too? Is like, man, is this shine gonna be a lot for him? Because we said when Conor McGregor came out for that first fight with Diaz, smiling, looking to the camera. Fabricio, when he came out with that whole smiling thing, I was like, I hope this doesn't happen to Stipe, because we talk. It's hard to be a champion.
Focus.
He was focused when he walked out. I'm like, oh no, he means business.
Yeah,
he's not looking into the crowd. He's looking straight ahead.
He did move a little too aggressively.
Okay,
he's not always that aggressive. I mean, that's why he got cracked.
Yeah.
He moved a little too aggressive, but this is a learning process. Every day is a new day, and he was the more resilient fighter in that fight.
Sure.
And he wound up winning because of it. But man,
props to him, man.
Props to him. The people's champ, Stipe Miocic.
I'm gonna buy a Miocic shirt.
Yeah.
As we speak. I'm
going
right now.
The next issue.
What's up?
Is Joe Rogan putting people on blast.
Oh, that was tough. He goes, let's watch it.
Alistair's like, yeah,
he
felt
tapped.
Him tap. Joe Rogan's like, okay, let's watch it.
Oh, did he? We didn't see it. Let's watch it again.
Oh, man. And then Overeem's like, well, I mean, it's hard to see. Like, I felt so bad for the guy. Embarrassing.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't think Joe Rogan, after when we first were talking, we were like, oh, man, he's getting trolled hard. Yeah. But then I realized Joe Rogan actually felt bad because he talked about, like, man, he doesn't want to interview anyone that just comes out of, like, getting like knocked out like that, because I wouldn't know. I got put to sleep through submission, but I didn't get my head blasted. Like, I don't know what that's
a great
like,
point.
Man. Yeah,
and that makes a lot of sense. Or at least just a small interview like, hey, sorry, good fight. We hope to see you again soon. Is there anything you want to say to the crowd? Don't ask them to give a fight analysis.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Especially after a loss. Like it's tough getting blasted like that. And
but it was a great night of fights. Now let's talk about the last fight. My favorite fight of the night, in my opinion.
Which fight?
Fabricio Werdum, second fight of the night versus Coach Edmund Tarverdian.
That was crazy. That was more exciting than the fight itself, man. It was like a soft little front kick.
Executed it perfectly. That's called a teep kick.
A teep. There you go.
For the distance.
Yeah.
Fabricio said he was coming in. He looked like he was trying to punch.
Said, homeboy, don't do that.
Fabricio's awesome.
Yeah.
The way he broke that down, he's like, I don't know. He's a boxer. He's coming out with those hungry eyes. I got to take this dude out. I got to keep the distance at least.
He was right. It was and then Babalu was about to come in. I'm like, oh, it's about to go down. It's about to turn into a Royal Rumble, WWE style.
True. It almost did, but then the ref stepped in and
yeah,
like, hey,
they realized,
out.
oh man, wrestling's real. We don't want this Royal Rumble to happen. Let's hold these boys
These
back.
people will actually get hurt if that happens.
Yo, props to Buffer for being like, control them.
Yeah.
Take that side, you
and
take
when
that
Bruce
side.
Buffer starts talking, you listen.
Homeboy, he gets paid for a reason, man. He was ready. Homeboy was ready.
The ring general.
Yes,
Bruce
sir.
Buffer.
Yeah, man. So, but that was great.
Yeah.
That was great. I thought I was gonna get more of that with the CM Punk fight, but I didn't.
No.
So, it was a good fight overall, man.
Yeah,
so, glad I got to watch it. What do we got next?
Next is Dustin Poirier versus Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
That's going to be an awesome fight.
That's going to be a great fight.
But
let's save that. I was going to say, let's save that for next time because we actually got to go train, homie. I got to choke you out. Let's say you got to choke me out, but it doesn't sound weird. Yeah.
Guys, thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed this fight breakdown and plenty more to come, guys.
Yeah, and if you are a fan of our podcast, please give us good reviews, rate, and subscribe on iTunes. Share it.
Share this bad boy,
yeah, make
man.
sure
it
you
goes
download
a long
it.
Way, man.
Yeah, check out the YouTube. We're on YouTube as well. Check out our newsletter. Where each month we're giving away one thing free to anybody who's subscribed. So all you have to do is subscribe to the newsletter. Also on there, we're going to be doing giveaways, prizes, contests, all that stuff. The only way you could do it is by subscribing. If you go to our Facebook page, there's a subscribe button on the side. Yeah. So please do it, guys.
Yeah, and before we go, if you guys want us to talk about anything else on this fight breakdown or anything else, guys, feel free to make any comments or throw some questions at us out on our Instagram page or Facebook.
Or email us showtheart@gmail.com.
We want to interact with you guys.
Let's do it.
All right, man. We out.
Till next time.
Peace.